Under age of 20.
First of all, Dad, introduce yourself. We are here with HD Kim, aka Dad Kim, aka Halbaji, at Collington on November, what's the day?
30s.
No, 25th.
Doesn't matter.
26th. End of November, just after Thanksgiving, and we're here with Halbaji to view his art expedition and hear some more about it. So Dad, tell us about yourself.
When I was 20 years old, I left Seoul, Korea, came to North Carolina to pursue a burning desire to become somebody successful and learned. As I look back, it was an audacious occasion in that Korean War was just ended, but the country was still in shambles. We felt America would be a better place for me to get educated. I am grateful to the American people for their generosity during past 6 decades. Meanwhile, my boyhood ambition has been amply fulfilled, beginning with PhD at Duke University, culminating as the chairman of the Department of Pharmacology at the University of Missouri for the past 2 decades. I also participated in a number of international expeditions aboard Alpha research vessel Alpha Helix to study indigenous species, Galapagos Island, Amazon, Tasmania. A few years into my retirement, my wife Mary arranged for me to take painting lessons from an accomplished art teacher. This casual encounter turned out to be a life-changing event. I discovered that I can paint despite the Parkinson's disease. Which gradually limited my physical activities. In any case, I thought I might mingle my scientific experience with a newly found passion for painting. I used the result of our research on ATP in Tasmania for 5 paintings in this exhibit. You will see my attempt to capture this idea in a painting labeled ATP Story. I would be delighted to learn about your comments regarding my paintings in general and ATP Story in particular.
Great. So we're going to get to the ATP story.
Yeah.
But Dad, tell us a little bit, how do you come up with your paintings? How do you come up with the ideas of what to paint?
It just came to me.
You just see a picture in your eye, in your mind's eye?
No, some of them were like that, some of them were pre-described.
So tell us a little bit about the boy.
This is a copy of another artist. I decided paint, and there was a lot of interest in this painting, so I kept it up. The title is Survey of the World.
It's a little reminiscent of you
Yeah.
as a young man.
Yeah. Let's move
Great,
on.
let's move ahead.
And This is called sulfur. It gives motion of the surf. And somebody in the middle of the cascade of water.
Would that be you?
Did you ever want to surf?
No.
No?
Next one is my favorite. This is called pirarucu. This is the largest air-breathing fish in the world, indigenous to Amazon River. We were studying their blood oxygenation.
And the Korean is your signature?
Korean is my signature. It was January 5th, 2013.
2013.
This is fish that lives in Amazon River, and it is about, it grows up to adult human being size. It breathes air, so they come shallow water to reproduce and feeding.
Did you study this when you went to Brazil?
Yeah, this is Amazon River.
Great, so let's move to the next one.
Mary, you can explain that one.
Oh, this.
Mary, let's introduce you.
Hello.
Mary Kim.
I am the wife of the famous painter H.D. Kim.
AKA Halmani.
Yes, and we used to live in Tucson, and we went to this mission San Javier many, many times outside the outskirts. It was a mission built by a famous monk or priest that came up from Mexico, and it still is a school for many Mexican people that live around Tucson, and it's a beautiful, been redone over the last 10 years, painted inside and out, and it's a gorgeous church, Mission San Javier.
You all spent a lot of time in the desert. Sort of reminds me of your desert years.
You grew up there.
I was born there. All right, this is a new phase, Dad. I'm trying to get it the.
This is modeled after Kandinsky.
Kandinsky.
It's called chicken. Next is entitled Scream.
And where did this come from, Dad?
It came from my brain.
Your brain?
Yeah. It looks like screaming.
It does look like someone screaming. What inspired you to paint someone screaming?
I was testing green color and trying to expand that color, and ended up this way.
This was done just last year, 7/3/15.
Yeah.
There's such different styles.
I like the green,
Yeah, it's a beautiful green.
and juxtaposed with the red color.
So there's the head screaming, and what's the rest? The body?
It's up to your imagination. You make it whatever you wish. She's screaming.
She is indeed screaming.
Is that she?
I think it's a she. I feel like the red is the rest of her body, a round shape.
I see.
It's sort of like the one that I have from you of the woman,
Oh, yeah.
right? That red rounded shape. Huh. Trying to get the reflection off here.
Yeah.
Now this is a whole nother type.
Come over here, maybe.
This is called adolescence.
On the upper left corner,
Right. Upper right corner.
Yeah? Who's that?
there is a person with a crutches. That
That's you?
describes the way I was in cast.
In your adolescence?
When I was 19 or so, I had a major hip fusion.
And Dad, why did you have to have that?
It was infected.
How did you get it injured?
I was rambunctious as a kid and fell out of lots of places, including trees.
And so how long were you in crutches?
About 6 months.
And the rest of the faces in the picture?
It tells you growing old.
Ah,
Let's go.
all right.
This was a series of doodles, I might add. He does a lot of doodles, and that's what that ended up being.
So you start with sketching?
It just begins somewhere, ended up that way.
So how do you know when you're done?
I don't.
How did you know to finish this one? This is called Tsunami.
It shows dynamics of water force.
Was this around a current event when there was a tsunami, or you were just thinking of something?
No, it started out something different. It started out black background, and things were added as time went on. It was done
This was done August
for,
2015?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's 2015.
I think it was done before then, but he signed it and put that date on there. I'm pretty sure it was done before that.
A lot of people like this.
Yeah. Forgot, had somebody bought it already? You giving it to somebody?
Consider.
Oh, Hyun Cho.
Ooh, Auntie
Who's
Michelle.
Hyun Cho? She's also an artist.
She's my only sister, younger sister. Now we begin another series of
Mostly science.
More paintings. This goes into your scientific phase.
this is Shogun.
What's Shogun?
That's the Japanese samurai.
But describe this.
It shows DNA.
Double helix
Yeah.
opening up.
Anyhow, this is the beginning of I series. I have a bunch of them here.
Yeah. So but where's the Shogun? It's a mix of a Shogun and the double helix?
You have DNA and Shogun.
It's a unique combination.
I think so. Here we have some more eyes, and you might recognize this molecule right here.
Yeah, what's this?
It is molecule called ATP, which we will look at in a minute. So it shows DNA
Synthesis.
DNA synthesis.
Yeah. And this would be the RNA, the single RNA.
no.
No?
Okay. Next.
So this was all done in 2014. You really were in an eye series.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time painting eyes. It's whatever you can make out.
Well, it looks like DNA again,
Yeah,
and also it looks like a chain of proteins coming off the DNA,
yeah.
or those could be ribosomes.
But also, who's the old painter who would do the eyes and melting figures and I can't think of that name.
He also has a,
Of the
Good-
clock that was melting.
that's,
Who's that?
I'll have to think of it. Oh, this is the, compound for, glucose?
Yeah,
Yeah.
But there's something very artistic. Even if you don't know that that's DNA or anything compounds, any science related anything.
that's the whole idea. Now this is an interesting painting because we are looking at red blood cells in different animals. You notice this one is a tiny erythrocyte or red blood cell. This one is a huge one, humans in between. And largest red cell comes from salamander, also known as Amphiuma.
Why is that one so big?
Nobody knows.
But what about the smallest one? What's that, from what animal?
That's come from animal called chevroton, which is mouse deer. So in nature, there's a 30-fold size variation. We have to wonder why size is important in oxygen delivery. Let's move on. This is my conception of living cell, single living cell. Can be anywhere. There's a DNA, RNA, and lots of molecules in the membrane doing transport work.
Transporting what?
Glucose, sodium, potassium, amino acid, you name it.
So there are different organelles in the membrane that do that.
Yeah,
Pretty interesting.
So to the untrained scientific eye, it looks like, right, like a little mini world
yeah.
with people going up, transporting things around.
Elevator.
Yeah. Or like in a mine, working
yeah.
down underground in a mine.
Okay, let's move on next.
It's amazing how the same painting you can see so many different things.
Yeah.
All right, now we're at the
Second chapter.
Here.
this is the ATP story.
I
Tell
have,
us about it.
I have written some statement. I'm going to read it for you. Adenosine triphosphate, ATP, is known as the indisputable bearer of chemical energy in living cells. It is to a living cell what gasoline is to a car. In vertebrates, snakes have the highest ATP content in their red blood cells, whereas humans have only about 10% of that seen in snake. In collaboration with American Australian colleagues, we discovered 2 egg-laying mammals, duck-billed platypus, spiny anteater, which are endemic to Tasmania, have little or no ATP in their red blood cells. This raises an intriguing question as to how these cells function in the absence of energy source. Published in Science, volume 213, page 1157, 1981. I use chemical structure shown here as a backbone of painting, with which to convey sentiment energetics. In addition, red brushes are presented as a circles in which varying intensity of the color used to reflect different cellular ATP concentration. That is, red the color, the higher the amount of ATP in their cell. For ATP story, see number 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6.
All right. Let's go to ATP story number 1.
Now you can see the ATP molecule balances the painting. And snake, shown here, very bright red, full of ATP. This human being is a lot less. But these two animals, monotremes, have no ATP in their cell.
What's the name of the monotremes?
It's a
Duck-billed,
duck-billed platypus, spiny anteater.
yeah.
Two egg-laying mammals. That story continues in this painting. You can see ATP molecule, again, 3-phosphate. Here's a duck-billed platypus, spiny anteater. Next, again you can see ATP molecule, 3 phosphates, 2 phosphates. When ATP is a 3 phosphate attached to this ATP molecule, lightning bug lights up.
Really?
Whereas if it loses one of them, then it becomes ADP, it loses light.
So it takes energy to turn on the light, and energy takes off one of the phosphates, and when the phosphate goes away, then there's no lightning, it doesn't light up. So that's what that's about.
This is
Yeah. This is a personal story, Dad.
yeah. This has to do with my experience of encountering Portuguese men of war in a massive dose of tentacles attaching my body one time when we were in North Carolina Beach. Mary's parents invited all their children and we were having a great time. I put a bathing suit on, ran down the beach and jumped right in. When I stood up, something heavy hung on me, and it turned out to be most excruciating pain I have ever known. Your mother was trying to heal me by using concentrated ammonia. I begged her to dilute it with water.
Well, so the one thing about these tentacles is that it uses ATP to fire off its
No,
bioluminescence, yeah, bioluminescence. Yeah.
But there's something beautiful about this painting rather than
I think
painful.
I can see just severe pain.
I only see something glowing and beautiful.
Now tell me where the ATP molecule is.
Is this a quiz?
No? It's apparent.
It's the two shapes, no?
Go
These
to,
two.
ATP.
Oh, it's this on this side?
all of this.
And what's with the snake?
snake has the highest ATP content in their red cell. That's why they're cherry red.
Ah.
And humans, pinky red,
Not so
because
red.
they have a lot less compared with the snake.
They're flying a Korean kite. And
That indicates a human.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I want to represent something that everybody can recognize, human, but I ended up using children playing kite.
See, it looks like a adult and a child together.
That could be, he may be their uncle. Let's
And we
move.
have the duck-billed platypus, which doesn't have any ATP.
And the spiny anteater at the top.
Oh, yeah, doesn't have any either. That's
Okay.
my favorite anteater.
Last one. Same story. Where's the ATP?
Along the bottom and then up to the top.
Yeah. And snake has a brightest reservoir. And humans, pinky, and monotremes have none at all.
I wonder how these animals exist with no ATP.
That's a real question.
So ATP was what you spent your,
I spent a lot of time using ATP as a background scientific information and added different things to complement my passion for new paintings. Thank you very much.
it's wonderful, Dad. Thanks for sharing that all with us.